Hello and welcome. Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about filing taxes as an international student in the United States. This can be confusing territory, but we're here to make it simple. Did you know that even as an international student, you might be required to file a tax return in the US? And failing to file correctly could impact your visa status, future immigration applications, or even result in penalties. But don't worry. We are going to walk you through everything you need to know to stay compliant and potentially save money. Are you a resident or non-resident alien? First things first. The US has two entirely different taxation systems depending on whether you're classified as a resident or non-resident alien. This classification is crucial because it determines what income gets taxed and how. For most international students, you'll be classified as a non-resident alien, especially during your first few years in the US. This is because you are typically in the US on an F or J visa, which means you're considered an exempt individual for tax purposes. Don't meet the substantial presence test, which normally requires 183 days of presence over 3 years. Under Internal Revenue Code, Section 771B, most F1 and J1 students are exempt from counting days toward the substantial presence test for their first 5 calendar years in the US. This is actually good news because non-resident aliens are generally only taxed on their US source income. You can also use Substantial Presence Test Calculator given on our website, irstaxapp.com. So, what income of a student is taxable? As a non-resident alien student, you're typically only taxed on income effectively connected with a U.S. trade or business, like on-campus jobs, assistantships, or certain scholarships, and U.S. source investment income, like interest from U.S. banks or dividends from U.S. companies. Your income from sources outside the U.S. generally isn't subject to U.S. tax. However, if you become a resident alien, which could happen after 5 years, you'll be taxed on your worldwide income, just like U.S. citizens. Here's some good news. The U.S. has tax treaties with many countries that can provide special benefits to students. If your home country has a tax treaty with the U.S., you might qualify for exemption from tax on certain scholarship or fellowship grants, reduced tax rates on certain types of income, exemption from tax on income from personal services up to specific dollar amounts. For example, students from India can exclude up to $5,000 of personal services income annually for up to 5 years under Article 21 of the U.S.-India Tax Treaty. To claim these benefits, you'll need to file Form 8833 with your tax return. Always check if your country has a tax treaty with the U.S. It could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Filing requirements. Now, let's talk about what forms you need to file. Form 1040-NR. This is the main tax return for non-resident aliens. Form 8843. All international students must file this form, even if you had no income. The deadline for filing is generally April 15th, but you can request an automatic extension until October 15th by filing Form 4868. Remember, an extension gives you more time to file, but not more time to pay any tax you owe. As an international student, there are some special rules you should know. Most F1 and J1 students are exempt from FICA taxes, Social Security, and Medicare, taxes on wages earned for services performed to carry out the purpose for which the visa was issued. Scholarships and fellowships. The taxable portion of these depends on several factors. Degree-seeking students can exclude amounts used for qualified tuition and related expenses. Amounts for room, board, and stipends are generally taxable. Check the ACTS treaties between your country and USA if it provides special exemptions for scholarships. You'll need either a Social Security number, SSN, or an Individual Taxpayer Identification Number, ITIN, to file your taxes. If you're eligible to work in the U.S., apply for an SSN. Otherwise, you'll need to apply for an ITIN using Form W-7. Common pitfalls to avoid. Here are some common mistakes international students make. Filing the wrong form. Using Form 1040 instead of 1040-NR can result in incorrect tax treatment. Not filing. Form 8843. This is required for all non-resident alien students, regardless of whether you had income. Missing tax treaty benefits. Not claiming available treaty benefits can cost you money. Forgetting to report worldwide income if you become a resident alien. Once you're a resident for tax purposes, you must report all incomes. Don't forget about state taxes. Each state has its own rules, and they might not follow the same resident, non-resident definitions as the federal government. Some states, like California, have their own rules for determining residency status. If you live in a state with income tax, you'll likely need to file a state tax return in addition to your federal return. Filing taxes as an international student doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start early, gather your documents, and consider using specialized tax preparation software for international students or consulting with a tax professional who specializes in non-resident taxation. Remember, staying compliant with U.S. tax laws is not just about avoiding penalties. It's about maintaining your good standing for your visa status and future immigration opportunities. If you found this information helpful, please hit that like button. Share this video with your international student friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the IRS Tax App channel for more valuable tax tips and updates. Your financial success in the U.S. is our priority.